Talking about Mikel Arteta, rumors are that Real Madrid are looking to replace Carlo Ancelotti long term, and the fashion right now in world football is young managers. So Arteta
Yeah.
is added to the short list of managers that could replace Carlo Ancelotti long term, and that's why I want us to talk about Mikel. Do you see him as a long term manager? Do you see him as could he do an Arsene Wenger kind of run?
I mean, I don't think anyone will ever be able to do Arsene Wenger Ferguson numbers. I don't think
10
anyone will be able
years?
to do that. I can see 10 years. I can definitely see like 10 years. We went through a lot. If you survive that, I think you can survive. And as Cossy knows, I have never ever said Arteta out. I've always been
Yeah.
Arteta in. All this through all this time, we were losing to Villarreal in the semi-final, losing to Burnley home and away, losing that December. It was very bad, November, December, a couple of years ago. But I've always wanted him to stay, even if we don't win a trophy this season. I know some people will be like, "Nah, Arteta needs to go." No, I want him to be here next season still, because there's something he's building. He's definitely building a good team. There's still players here that are not his and stuff. So by the time we get to next year, maybe everything will be his completely. So I definitely see him as a long-term option. I would not want him to go right now. And who would we get anyway? I think that would be tough. I remember people saying, "Ask why Arsenal getting Arteta when Tottenham are getting Conte, and you're sticking with teams are suffering. Tottenham want Conte out. Teams, the managers that we wanted, they're all out of those teams." So
Actually,
I
I
still,
think many people wanted a Mourinho before he went to Spurs. He's gone. Then I personally wanted a Conte.
yeah.
He's gone as well.
Yeah, and the players believe in him. I think the likes of Saka, Xhaka signing new contracts and stuff, they believe in Arteta as well. So if you get rid of Arteta right now, some players came here because of him. So you're basically breaking it. If you get a different manager, you never know. Saliba might end up leaving. Zinchenko might end up leaving because the manager doesn't really want a free roll kind of left back, all that. So I want us to keep the same team. Like if it was possible, I'd probably get rid of maybe 2 players this summer and keep everyone else. Literally, I'd want us to keep the same team and add to it and then try again next season.
Yeah, of course, we'll talk about the Champions quality that we demand. But
Yeah.
with Mikel Arteta, I'll rank him in among the young managers, excluding Pep, Klopp, Ancelotti. I'll rank him top 5. There is an Angel Nagelsmann there, probably. There is an Eric Ten Hag there. You have a Mikel Arteta. You have a Graham Potter. I think he's really doing very well, really impressing as a young manager. So the fashion is for everyone to go with a young manager. And the trend is spending money, right? Look at Madrid, Chouameni 100 million. You look at Chelsea, spending almost $1 billion on Potter. You look at Eric Ten Hag, who they say they haven't backed. Anthony is almost 100 million. Casemiro is 60 million. So the trend is spending money. Do you think if the Cronkies do not match the spending power of the likes of Bayern, Madrid, he might just say, "I want to be I'm gonna leave, and I'm going to go somewhere where I'm backed. I'm not going to be like Arsene Wenger, who literally stood between the fans and the Cronkies. The Cronkies being the problem, but Arsene Wenger was the shield. Do you think we could lose him just because there are so many other spending powerhouses around Europe?"
In the future, maybe yes. Right now, it's still a newer manager, so you'd expect such kind of stuff from the likes of Mourinho and Conte, who are used to being in the game and spending money before in the previous years. But it is so new, and I think the other thing that helps is that he's played for Arsenal. So
Yeah.
he understands the fans, he understands whatever he's building as well. So maybe in the future, if he feels like, okay, we've not taken a Premier League title, we're not building, and Man City have overtaken us, Liverpool are back on top of us again, Man United on top of us, maybe he could take the Real Madrid job. I mean, it's very hard to refuse the Real Madrid job. It's very hard to refuse to play for Real Madrid. I mean, Mourinho once said that if you don't coach Real Madrid, you've not had a career. Basically, he said that, and he moved from Inter Milan to Real Madrid straight away. So
Yeah.
there's always that. But hopefully, he can stay. I believe he will stay, and hopefully, as you've said, we've been willing to spend 85 million, 90 million on Mudryk. It's been rejected. Caicedo's 60 or something is being rejected. Hopefully, they can keep on spending that money, and we can get good players from now and until Arteta is here, until Arteta leaves.
Right. So if you're watching this clip, please let us know how long should Mikel Arteta stay at Arsenal, and how long are you predicting Mikel Arteta will be at Arsenal. I was massively wrong. I think I did a prediction when I was just joining YouTube, and I said that Mikel Arteta would not last 3 years. He's actually now 4, right? So I was massively wrong about that. But I asked this question in the recent video, and I'm gonna ask it to you as well. What should we do to keep a player, a manager like Mikel, young, intelligent, ambitious, very, very principled? I've had many people praising Ten Hag for being principled. Mikel Arteta is really principled. He's a principled guy, and he's one guy that I think you will never hear any kind of nonsense out of his dressing room. Like senior players are saying this, those egos in the dressing room. You'll never hear that. I think his principles are right into the roots. To what extent would you go to keep him? What would you do? What would we do to keep him?
He has a managerial role at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Let him keep that. If he wants to sign a particular player, let him do it. If he wants Zinchenko from this particular team, let him do it. Obviously, let him do it if they do. Let them control that. Don't take it down to a coaching role or let the owner of the team, like Todd Boehly is doing at Chelsea, sign the players for the manager. No, let him control all that, the transfers. If he wants an Aubameyang to leave, let him leave. If he doesn't get along with him, that is what you do. You let him control whatever is on the pitch, and a bit of the board area as well in terms of players signing and player contracts and all that. If he says he wants Xhaka to stay, let him stay. If he says he doesn't want this one to stay, let him do that. So I think in terms of make him feel at home, make him feel like he has control of the important things as well. And if he asks for money, give him the money, let him buy the players. If it doesn't work, if we sign all these players and you build him a team for the next 2-3 years and no improvements as well, then after that you can change. But I think if you do that, let him control what he can, and a bit of the board area as well, I think we can be okay.
Yeah. Do you see him do a club like 6 years of immense success? And of course, I'm asking you this in light where you have Newcastle coming up with a lot of money. Manchester City could potentially be taken over by Qatar, a lot of money as well. You have Liverpool, who are looking for investment and injection. That means a lot of money is going to come into Liverpool as well. And then Chelsea, who have already spent $1 billion. Do you think he can be kind of, even if not dominate, but do that, top level 6 years, 7 years?
Now, I did a show a couple of years ago on Lucas' channel and Stephen Fitley's channel, rest in peace to him. We were talking about, they asked me a question in 2021, I remember, it was December of 2021, they asked me how long, because they wanted that out completely, they wanted that in. So it was a very tough time for me to answer those questions. They were like, when do you think Arteta is going to win the league and when is he going to win the Champions League? So I said Premier League in the next 2 to 3 years. It could be happening. And they asked me
at the time.
And they asked me what about the Champions League, and I said in less than 5 years we're going to get the Champions League. So we had 2 years into that. So we have 3 years to win it. Next season, the previous season, the next season after that, or the next season after that. So that was my aim. So I think Cossy, we're in a good situation. I think we're actually going to end that European run and win that Champions League, and that means that would be a huge success for us. If we win the Champions League, that would be huge. I don't think it's going to be every single season Arsenal winning the Premier League, then 3 times like Man United back in the day. No, next season we could finish second or third, but win a cup, and then the next season, or maybe Champions League, get eliminated in the quarterfinal, come back next season, do well in the Champions League, fight for the Premier League again, lose it on the last day, maybe win the Carabao Cup for the first time in years. I can see us in the next, if you ask me, 7 years, yes, I can see us taking at least 5 trophies, hopefully.
5 trophies. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that would be huge for an Arsenal side that has gone 7 years just picking up, very, very few. We picked up the, actually, was it Mikel Arteta's FA Cup? And then maybe Arsene Wenger's FA Cups, along the way. We had a golden chance to win the Europa League, but...
Yeah, 2 golden chances. Yeah.
Because Unai Emery is the guy that wins Europa League everywhere he goes. He wins it, even at Villarreal. How did he not win it at Arsenal? Right?
We actually had 3 chances in that final, and also Villarreal. We had a home leg in the second leg, and Arteta, we should have won that as well. And Atletico Madrid.
The Atletico Madrid semi-final, is it? Under with
Because if we won that game, I think we'd have had like a Marseille in the final.
Yeah,
that
Marseille
would
in
have
the
been another
final.
trophy.
Yeah, we could have won it. Yeah, we could have
So
won
yeah,
it.
so I'm not just saying that because Arteta is doing well right now and Arsenal fans are deluded. No, I said that in 2021. I said we're going to win the Premier League in the next 2 to 3 years, and I said Champions League in less than 5 years. And they laughed. They were like, "Nah, you Arteta guys are absolutely deluded." I was like, "Well, let's see."
You know what? If you ask me which season I wanted to be in the UEFA Champions League, it is this season. I kind of feel like I'm backing Napoli to go all the way to the final. Like I'm just backing Napoli, and it's every team has dropped off. Bayern are not doing well. Madrid are struggling against the likes of Real Betis at home. Like you could just run away with it. I'm not saying you could confidently win it or very well, but you could just run away with it. Last question with Mikel: if he becomes a long-term manager like Arsene Wenger, do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with managers staying too long and then that eventually creating a ripple effect? After they leave, you have to rebuild, demolish the structures they had built, and then start over again, spend more money again, and then go through that period where you're not winning, you're finishing 8th. All the other clubs are enjoying the success, and for you are on a low. Do you have a problem with that?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want a manager to stay past 10 years in this generation. But as you say, things have changed. Right now, there's now younger managers. Back then, there was a 50-year-old manager joining, 60-year-old manager joining. You don't want them to be there until they're 80 or anything like that. No, unless you're Wenger, Ferguson, and even Simeone. I think Simeone has done well for Atletico Madrid. It's got them to a couple of Champions League finals, won a couple of league titles, and it's kept them consistent. Top three. Atletico Madrid never used to be that kind of team. Like the likes of Valencia and Sevilla were above them, but it's kept them consistent and stuff. But even right now, I feel like Atletico Madrid need a change. So after some time, you definitely need a change. I mean, you can't win the Premier League and the Champions League and then tell the manager we need a change. No, you can still give them time. And also, I'm pretty sure the manager would want to change, maybe a break and stuff. So I'm sure all those teams will change managers. If you say between now and 2030, I don't think Guardiola will be at Man City. I don't think Klopp will be at Liverpool. I don't think Ten Hag will be at Man United. And Tottenham obviously would have changed managers maybe another 100 times as well. Chelsea as well. So yes, maybe by 2030 and stuff, we'll need a change as well. But let's see how it goes in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah. Of course, the project we have, guys, it's a Mikel Arteta project. I don't think it is. I don't think it's a project that you bring Mourinho in and he thrives. He wouldn't, right? Yeah. It's a Mikel Arteta project, and that's why I'm very confident he's not going anywhere until this project bears fruit. And we have already seen it. If we do back him, he will bear fruit. There's no question about that. Now, moving into some of the biggest stories this week, Florian Balogun and Ketia could be the two players that Arsenal lose, players that you don't want to lose, but could leave in the summer. Let's start off with Florian Balogun, Glenn. Balogun is flying in the French Ligue 1, 21 goals in 25 appearances for Reims. One of the top scorers in Europe, one of the top scorers in the French Ligue 1. It is believed that he doesn't want to come back at Arsenal and be a third choice striker. If he comes back, he either wants to be the second to Gabriel Jesus or even have that guarantee for playing time. Newcastle again. Are the club interested in him? Talk to me about Balogun. Keep, sell, bench.
He's absolutely having a fire season. His team as well is doing well. I think his team is like 19 games unbeaten or something with the young manager. They're doing very, very well. To be honest, I always thought he was okay, but I didn't think he was this good to score 20 goals in a season or something. I didn't think he was that kind of good. And I've seen his finishes sometimes. Absolutely incredible, man. And he's fighting for top scorer awards with those big guys there, World Cup winners and stuff.
Yeah.
World Cup winners, man. So it depends on two situations. If he doesn't want to come, then you sell him. But at the moment, I'd send him on another loan, another year, just like Saliba. Send him on another loan once again, see how he does. Right now, I mean, if you sell him right now, you can easily get 35 million or something. I don't know if Frames would be able to pay that, but we should be able to get something like that. But I'd give him another loan. He's 21 years of age. Give him another loan, maybe in the same team or a different club, just like Saliba, but in the same league. Let's see how he does. Let's see if he can actually keep it going. Then if his numbers drop to like 12 from 20 and his price drops from like 35 to 25, then you can sell him right away, or say, you know what, you can just bring him back. Let's see, we saw something the previous season. But at the moment, I'd send him on another loan. I'd not sell him, no. Unless it 100% does not want to come back. But I feel like we need another season to see what happens with Jesus, see what happens with Nketiah, and then he's still our player. Let him go out on loan. If Nketiah stays, I think he will stay next season, and doesn't do well next season, then you can think about selling Nketiah and bringing back Balogun. But next season, I actually want something different. I want, I know Nketiah is going to stay, so Jesus Nketiah, and I want a different kind of striker, a tall striker heading the ball. He can put in the ball into the box. So those are the three strikers I want next season.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're also going to talk about a centre forward. But this is what I would do with Florian Balogun. I think sending him back on loan is very, very good. You let him sign a new deal, and then send him back on loan. We don't do it the way we've done with Saliba. You first let him sign a new deal, and then send him back on loan, because there's so many eyes around him. There's so many eyes that are trying to look at him. I would send him on loan to a club like Brighton, and this is like very dangerous, because Brighton are some of the clubs that are creating the highest XGs, expected goals, in games. So if you give them a prolific finisher, he would definitely tear at Brighton. But I would take him to Brighton. I want to see if he's getting these chances against harder opponents, right? How would he actually fare on? Because Brighton don't care. Whether you're Liverpool, whether you're Man United, Manchester City, West Ham, they can create 10 chances, 10 goal scoring opportunities per 90 for you. Can you convert that? But then I also thought about, I kind of feel like Eddie is ahead of Balogun in development, right? But I feel like I would want to see Balogun ahead of Eddie. I would want to see a season where Balogun is there, like next season. I would love to see him there and try Eddie, maybe, and sell Eddie. Would you be open to that? We sell Eddie to, I don't know, maybe West Ham. West Ham have always been big fans of Eddie Nketiah. We sell Eddie to West Ham. We buy in a striker like a Skamaka kind of guy, right? Huge, has different facets to his game, and then Balogun, is there. You tell him you will be playing every single cup competition for us now.
I mean, we're in the Champions League next season, so I don't think he will be playing that. Yeah. And Carabao Cup, he could easily be eliminated in the first round, and then you're killing his development. So I'd still keep him out on loan. I'd not bring him back next season. I think there's some teams who usually do that very rush. I think it was Loftus-Cheek or some. I think Loftus-Cheek did very well for Fulham on loan from Chelsea, and Chelsea, I think, brought him back right away, and they killed his development. And I think they've done the same thing with Gallagher. They should have left Gallagher at Crystal Palace on another 1 year. You'd have been absolutely crazy. Now he's come back to Chelsea, and I think he's gone down. I think his value was like at 40 million at the end of last season after playing for Crystal Palace. Right now, I don't think I'd pay 15 million for Gallagher. So you need to be careful in terms of, oh my goodness, he's done well for 20 games, let's bring him back. No, give him another 20. I mean, he did very well. Saliba did very well at Saint-Etienne on his loan deal. He did very well at Nice. We could have brought him back immediately, but he decided, you know what, let's send him to Marseille for the third season until we are sure. Until people are not happy. People wanted us out because of that. Why are we keeping this defender? And Saliba is there, but it's worked. It's come back. He's come back grown, fully developed. I think I'd do the same thing with Balogun. Let him keep on playing. Maybe he can get an international call-up. Let him keep on playing for another season on loan. I'd keep Nketiah, but not as a second choice, like cup competitions, we've said, and maybe come on. I think his Premier League experience, like he'd not be afraid of playing against an Aston Villa or Man United. He's done it, so I'd keep him. And anyway, I don't think he will be sold at the end of the day. I think he will stay no matter what we say. So I think he will be here with the third striker, as you said, either like someone like a Skamaka, tall, bully in the box. So those would be my three strikers. Keep Balogun out on loan for another season. I'd love Brighton for sure. I'd love to play for Brighton if I was a player. I mean, everything is just so good. They're attacking. So many good players.
They're the best well-run club in the world right now. I'll just give them that.
Yeah, for sure. That is what I'd do.
Yeah. So if Florian Balogun goes, the good thing is that he's not a contract treble. He signed his new deal in 2020 January, was it? Actually, 2022 January, before going out on loan to Middlesbrough in the Championship. So
Yeah.
his contract, but I think we would need to make it better just to recognize his development in France. We just need to make it better. There's no problem with about that. How about just the idea of him going to Newcastle on a permanent? Because that is what we're looking at. Newcastle are